Good morning. Super nice to see everybody here this morning. I'd like to especially welcome Moberly Lake students. I know we saw a lot of you at our track and field. It's really nice to have Moberly Lake joining us again today. We love having you here with us at Little Prairie School. I also want to take the opportunity to welcome Mayor Merlin Nichols on behalf of our district. Thank you, Merlin, for coming. We'd also like to recognize that we have school board members here. We have Christy Fennell here. Don't know where she is at the moment, as well as Mike Reedman. There we are. Thank you. So thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Aboriginal Day. Hopefully I have not missed anyone. So for everyone, welcome to our Aboriginal Day celebration. I actually want to take this opportunity to recognize that we're currently on Treaty 8 property. But more than recognizing that we're on Treaty 8 property, I think that it really is a time for us to honor and thank our ancestors and those people who have lived here before us. We need to recognize that our ancestors have kept and preserved this wonderful country that we are lucky enough to live in. So please, as we enjoy today and as we honor the Aboriginal people of our Treaty 8 property, remember all of that and be particularly mindful as you celebrate today. At this time, I would like to please call up Ms. Morgray to lead us in O Canada. May I have everyone stand, please? And if I could ask dads to please remove their hats, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, so let's... I'm sorry. Thank goodness I actually looked at my notes. That's why I carry notes. I'd like to actually welcome Kim Gucci to the stage. Kim, we have been lucky enough to have Kim with us here at Little Prairie School this week, celebrating and teaching us a lot about our Aboriginal education and history. So welcome, Kim.
Hi, everybody. Okay, let's make this a little taller. Can I make this a little taller? I'm working on it. Somebody had a really strong grip. We'll just make it work. I'll talk a little louder. How's everybody this morning? Did everybody enjoy that thunderstorm last night? Do this. Okay, let's just use our sign language. Do this if it was yes. Do this if it was a no. Oh, well. It's a pretty even It's an even match. But that's probably why we're inside today, is because the ground is all wet, but we need all of this rain, right? Let's never, ever complain about the rain, because we're going to need it all summer long. I'm going to sing a song. I'm here in the traditional territory of the Treaty 8 First Nation, of the Cree people, the Saulteaux First Nation, and West Moberly First Nation. And this is a place where I raised my children. My children are from Treaty 8, so place is very near and dear to my heart. And I lived here for a long time, many years ago. And I want to sing a song that is actually from where I live now. This is where I am in Prince George, which is my traditional territory. So we're your neighbor, way over the mountains. And this is a song that I wrote with my grandmother. And it's a song about being together, all together. We have to get along. We have to break down all of these walls that we have built over history. It wasn't us that did it. It wasn't your parents that did it. It was generations back that we're working towards breaking down all of these walls. And we're working towards reconciliation. You say that word? Very good. So that's what we're working on. From this day forward, we're working on building relationships and healing the past. And this is a song that I love to sing. It's a song that I wrote with my grandmother, who is my Atsu. And it's about being out on the land. It's about being together, hunting and fishing and picking berries. Here we go. Thank you. I have to smile through that whole song because it sounds like rain on a tent. You know what I mean? Do you ever go camping and you hear the rain, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter? So it was quite beautiful. But wait, what makes me smile especially big is that as soon as you guys start clapping, all the grade 7s kind of go like this and they all smile, and I think it's pretty cute too. Well, not all of you, but some of you. So I'm wondering what you think it is. Does it sound like rain to you guys? Yeah. They're shaking their heads. See, that's what we have to we got to make the best of life, right? What happens when someone gives you a bowl of lemons? There you go. All right. So I just want to say just a few words, and I'll do one more song, and then I'm going to get off the stage so we could get on with the agenda. And there's a reason for everything. There's a reason that we're inside right now and we're not out at the Rotary Park. So we have to look at today and we got to look forward, right? We can't look in the past and go, oh, boo-hoo, but it's so sunny out right now and we could have been out there. We got to look like, hey, look it. We're all in this beautiful space and we're all together and we're going to have a wonderful day doing workshops all day long. And that's just the way it's going to be, right? And there's been a lot of wonderful things that have already happened this morning. I want to share with you that I have children, I have grandchildren, so when I spend time with all of you, it really fills my heart because I don't live near my grandchildren or my children. And you guys actually help to fill that space inside of me, so I want to thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. It's been wonderful to be here. Here's a song that I wrote, and this is especially for you little ones. And it's also for the child in all of us because we all have that little child in all of us. This is a song that I wrote for my grandson. His name is Hunter. And oh, there's a Hunter. Yay, okay, let's all look at Hunter when I sing this song. So here we go. This is a cute little song about a bunny and Hunter. Do you like bunnies, Hunter? Yeah, a little bit. Wapus. Here we go. It goes like this. Hunter went hunting for a bunny. He fell into a big old pile of leaves. Mom and Dad cried, where, oh, where is Hunter? Where, oh, where could little Hunter be? Here I am, said Hunter. It's me. I was looking for a bunny rabbit when I fell into this big old pile of leaves. Here I am, said Bunny. Here I am, it's me. You want to come and play forest. We will be best friends, you and me. There you go. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you around all day long today. So happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having us. We have some kids from Moberly Lake School, and we just wanted to talk with everyone and share our reason of why we celebrate Aboriginal Day. So we have a few nervous students, and we don't normally talk in front of this many people, so we thank everybody for listening, and we will start. Here, let's all line up together. Line up together. Okay. There. Okay. Can you read this?
Why do we celebrate Aboriginal Day? Traditionally, summer is a time of togetherness. It is a time for celebration. We celebrate the changing of season in June with the summer solstice. We honor our ancestors through powwows and round dances. We celebrate marriages and hold memorials for those who have passed on to the other world.
Our celebrations are not done on one day, but throughout the season. During this time, families collaborate and plan the coming months. Animals, plants, and medicines are harvested in order to get ready for the approaching winter. Some families stick together or meet up if they're close by. Everyone knows how to find each other.
In this summer season, we give thanks to our Creator for the gifts we receive from the land. We are a proud people who are honored to share our culture and tradition.
Today, we hope everyone can take time to appreciate and recognize the Indigenous community and our impact on Canada and its history. And now I'm doing that.
Namaskaman.
Thank you.
Let's do it 3 more times. Love is gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again. Let's have some crazy harmonies. Love is gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again. Right to the top of the roof. Love is gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again. It's gonna come around again.
And with that, I think we're ready to begin our awards part of our day. So I'm just going to ask Carly Gentry to come up and get us started.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carly Gentry, and I'm a member of the Aboriginal Education Council for our school district. And once again, I am pleased to be a part of this award ceremony and to assist in honoring these celebrated students. Thank you. So I'm just going to announce the category and some students' names. So if you could please come up if your name is called, and then we'll talk about the category. So the first category is academic achievement. So the recipients are Ryder Ingalls, Abby Fuller, Kaylee Scareko, Finn Cameron, and Gracie Cameron.
So we're just going to take a minute and just describe a little bit for each award, given that we have a little bit more time with everyone. So from Moberly Lake, we're awarding Finn Cameron and Gracie Cameron. So what we can say about Finn is he excels in all subject areas. He has a positive attitude and a passion for learning. He has received recognition throughout the year for his hard work and his academic success, and we are very proud of him. And Gracie is in grade 1, and Gracie is exceptional. She excels in academics. Her reading and writing is just way beyond. We are so proud of her, and she is an extreme leader in academics. Congratulations, Gracie.
Ryder Ingalls is being nominated because he comes to school prepared every day. He is knowledgeable, takes responsibility for his own learning, and has an extremely high academic standing. I'm just going to read all of them, and we'll do applause at the end. Abby Fuller has had an excellent school year. She also has a high academic standing in all areas, has worked exceptionally hard this year to maintain an A and B average. She consistently attended homework club and has stayed on top of all her work. Scaly Koreko is in grade 4 this year, which is a huge jump from grade 3 to 4. She also has a very high academic standing. She's received honor roll every term this year. She's a well-rounded student. She writes clearly, concisely, reads above grade level text with an analytical mind, and she can solve very difficult word problems in math. She also attends homework club every single week and stays on top of all her assignments. We're very proud of all these kids.
Okay, our next category is artistic achievement. So the recipients are Crinden Cameron, Hayden Collins, and Trapper Desjardins.
I'll just speak about Trapper. Trapper is so creative. He uses his mind and imagination all the time. He excels in drawing. He loves making costumes, and he is just wonderful with his imagination and his artistic abilities, and we are just so excited for him.
Hayden was nominated by her teacher. Hayden is an outstanding artist who demonstrates an excellent ability to utilize any medium she comes across to create beautiful artwork. This includes, but is not limited to, watercolor, paper cutting, and oil pastels. In oil pastels, Hayden is not afraid to experiment with techniques such as blending and shading to masterfully create effects of light and shadow. Crinden is an artist who is able to pull from the world around him and represent it in a powerful and poetic manner that evokes emotion. If you ever get a chance to read his writing or look at his artwork, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Congratulations.
Okay, next we have school citizenship. Hayden LaGreca, Oliver MacArthur, and Braylon Lalonde.
So Oliver gives his best in every aspect of school. He is kind to all students. He is helpful, he is hardworking, and he is honest. He is everything that a role model should be. He doesn't let anything keep him down, and he always takes a day with a positive attitude.
Braylon Lalonde. Braylon is a student who always shows the habits of the heart. He brings a positive attitude to school every day. He is a positive role model to his peers and is someone that we can all count on. Hayden LaGreca. Hayden is an inquisitive student who, rather than staying in her comfort zone, consistently challenges herself with difficult materials. She has a positive, cheerful demeanor and uses the habits of the heart when engaging with her peers or teachers. She's a natural leader whose love of learning is infectious and motivates many of those around her. Congratulations.
For athletic achievement, Easton Desjardins.
So Easton was nominated by his teacher, and then I did some digging around, calling coaches, parents, and I found out a lot of information about Easton. Not only does Easton demonstrate a commitment to healthy lifestyle, but he's a leader in all sports, whether it's in the school or outside of the school. He has a passion for playing hockey, which a lot of you probably know. He brings a positive attitude and excellent sportsmanship to soccer, to baseball, to hockey, and in PE. So let's give him a huge round of applause.
For PE achievement, Hunter Gentry, Nina Brown, and Riley LaGreca.
So Hunter is very athletic, and he encourages his classmates to participate and give it their best. He enjoys playing structured games, and he's a leader when it comes to organizing activities and getting things going. Nina is very active and athletic. She's on her community hockey team, and she gives her best efforts towards all sports and activities.
So Riley LaGreca is also a superior athlete. You may have noticed that she won the grade 6 female athlete award at our track and field. She's very open to trying new activities, and it seems to come very natural to her. She excels in almost all, if not all, athletic activities. She also has great sportsmanship and fair play, so let's give her a hand. Congratulations.
For volunteer service, Misty Lalonde.
So Misty, along with her classmates, has created fundraising events for community causes. She initiates school improvement activities, and she shows a passion for helping others. Congratulations, Misty, and thank you.
Personal achievement, Lightning Terry, Shane McTavish, Dexter McTavish.
So Lightning Terry is absent today, so we awarded him his award yesterday. He's made tremendous leaps and bounds in literacy this year, and his teacher wanted to recognize him for that. Shane and Dexter. Both of these kindergarten students have made tremendous progress in literacy this year. Halfway through the year, Miss Pops and Miss Dobb and I noticed, and Miss Tates, these little light bulbs just going off in their head as they showed perseverance and dedicated in their learning. They were mastering the alphabet, learning their sight words, and at this point, these two kindergarten students are now reading. We are so, so proud of them.
Aboriginal Culture and Heritage, Araya Blue.
So this is Araya, and we're recognizing her because she loves her culture, and she is a part of it in any way possible. She's a member of the drumming group. She's a leader in our class circles. She shares her knowledge with her culture and anything, her passion for it with others. She is a leader for Aboriginal. She is a leader for everyone. So congratulations.
And our last category, attendance. These awards are given to those students who have 98% attendance or better.
right, 98% attendance or better at Little Prairie. I'd like to call up Emily Blom, Grady Collins, Angeles Fay, Reichard Frayne, Kenzie Huberto, and Tylen Tereski.
Congratulations, bud.
From Moberly Lake School, 98% attendance or higher, we have Uriah Davis, Oliver MacArthur, Miles Jones, Luna Allison, Carter Davis, Cohen Brown, and Drake Mercer.
Good job, bud.
Okay. These are our 98%er attendance. Congratulations, guys.
All right, so that concludes our ceremony. Want to thank our guests very much for coming and supporting this. Kids, congratulate the recipients as you see them out on the playground. They've worked really hard to receive these awards. What you might not know is these kids need to be nominated and they need to fulfill a criteria, and write-ups were given, so we take these awards pretty serious. At this point, I'm going to let our guests leave. You're welcome to stick around if you want to walk through the classrooms and see the activities our kids are doing. Then, once our guests are gone, I'm going to ask Mr. Tong's class to help. Chairs. I'm going to ask the primary kids to leave first, then the intermediate students, and you can grab your chairs on the way out. I'm going to ask Moberly students to stay put for a couple minutes because we're going to put you in some of the classrooms today. And that's everything. Thank you.
It's Linda from Peace FM, and I am at Grizzfest, and this is Violet Night. How's it going, guys?
Good. Right on. Great.
So how do you like playing in your own backyard?
It's more nerve-wracking, I would say, than touring and shows that aren't so close to home. For me.
Because you recognize the faces. It's a lot different when you're playing for a crowd that you don't know, but like we know lots of people that are out there right now.
It's a lot more intimate, I would say.
Yeah, it's more of another subdivision for me because I'm in Alberta, but it's very fun. Love it here.
And do you prefer playing festivals or your own shows?
Well, this is our first show with Craig. I think a mix of whatever is good. I mean, it depends on where you're playing really, and just it depends on the audience, I think, and trying to cater to that audience, be it a festival or be it a more intimate show. Personally, I think shows that are the band's show itself are a lot more intimate, and the fans that show up are there because they love the music, whereas at a festival, the crowds are amazing, but it's a difference of they're there to see 5 or 6 bands and not just 1 or 2, so it's a little different of an atmosphere. But the festival atmosphere is incredible. Just the people, I love I honestly love it. I love the food trucks, I love the people, I like just walking around and meeting people. It's always such a cool thing to just mingle, and it's a really awesome experience for us. So.
We got the guys behind us eating the kebabs. I mean, the fruit kebabs.
Yeah, you could zoom in on them. They're taking, those are our boys. They played guitar and bass for us at this show, and they are taking full advantage of all the free food and everything in our trailer, and we love them.
Loading up
They
their
just have,
pockets.
have like garbage bags full of all the stuff we don't take.
I brought this with me.
We just get sued because they steal that Kiss cup. There's a Gene Simmons cup in our trailer, actually. It's really cool. It's I think it was supposed to be in Icon's trailer, the Kiss cover band, but they put it in ours instead. So
We'll take it.
we'll take it.
It's a win.
With pride.
And what's next for Violet Night?
This is our final show. No, I'm just kidding. We're
Quitting while we're on top.
yeah, we've reached the pinnacle as a band, and I think that it's time to disband. We hate each other. No, I'm just kidding. We're looking to move to Toronto. We've got a new record coming out. You know, we were hoping on August, and it's August, and I think half of it's done. We've been working on it since March, so I feel like I'm optimistic for November that it'll come out, but we really want to put that out. We're in the works to have a really special guest vocalist on the album. That I'm not going to say who it is, but if eventually it will come out, I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't want to rush it. We want it to be
Perfect.
Yeah, good. Our first album, we want it to be
Yeah.
on par with the albums that we listen to, I guess.
Like a masterpiece, so to speak, something that front to back can capture an audience and, you know, move you through different emotions and make you feel different things. I think that's what we've always aspired to do, is to create something that people feel safe in, I guess. It's an atmosphere, you know, it's not just a band. It's a feeling, Violet Night. That's what I always say, because it really rings true, I think.
Got my teeth and tyrants. You know the ones become my I don't sleep much anymore. I don't.
Thank you.
After the award ceremony, the students had a chance to try different activities scattered throughout the school in celebration of Aboriginal Day. We got the chance to talk to George Desjardins about why this day was so important.
It is very important because North America is the home of First Nations people. Always has been, long before Columbus, like say about the last 10,000 years. So they say. Our oral history says it's longer. But yeah, it is very important to have that recognition, because we sort of got pushed off a little bit throughout history. And like I said early, it's a little bit late, but it's better late than being never.
Passing on the knowledge of Aboriginal culture is essential in making sure the culture isn't lost. By acknowledging the culture that our country is built on, it allows students to realize how fundamental Aboriginal culture is in the fabric of Canada as a country. According to organizers Diane Basendowski and Michelina Lukey, Aboriginal Day allows kids to have fun while being educated.
It's important to take the time because it's acknowledging the Treaty 8. It's celebrating the culture that our country has been built upon, and we want to educate people and just celebrate together.
And it's also important to bring all of our kids together. We're thrilled to have Moberly join us today, so the kids can celebrate, acknowledge together, and really think about what today is all about.
Togetherness, education, and fun were all present here at Little Prairie Elementary. By teaching the children about traditions of those past, we are making sure that the culture that helped create Canada is passed on to future generations. And by learning from our past, we give hope in creating a brighter and more accepting future.
We start very basic. We do lots of edges and 3 turns and just basic skills, and then work up into the more interesting stuff, I guess the kids would call it, more of the intricate spins and jumps. So we kind of do a bit of everything with them.
I'm doing doubles, so that's like the higher jump, and then just like spins and footwork and stuff. Yeah.
What's the hardest part about it?
Definitely the double loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you have to go up on one foot and do 2 rotations in the air and then land on the same foot.
I was born here by these waters, when this world, well, it's all I know.
You know, when my brothers come out to looking for work, and you can get 80 cents an hour in the bush in Alberta, and you get $1.25 here, so we just kept coming west. That's why we came here.
Never seems to want to slow down. You know, he was actually clearing land when he was 97 years old.
Really?
He broke his last horses to drive when he was just about 90. Yeah, and he was, like I said, he was on his tractor doing some tilling this fall. So he's only a few months from 100.
Always the horse logging and horses. Everything you hear about Jim always comes back to horses, one way, shape, or form.
Any piece of advice that you can give
To what?
to your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great...
Well, one of the best thing you can do is be honest, you know, and don't try and do, you know, rob people or whatever. Honesty is the best way to live, as far as I ever could figure out.
Here in peace and wonder, leave me here till the good Lord comes.
Hey, it's Leo Sobolski with Book Talk at Pine Tree Books, and I have Judy. And can you say your name so I don't make a mistake?
Kaczarek.
It's a
yeah.
good Polish name.
Yes,
Well, you
it
know what?
is.
She's written a book called Naked Tuesday, and she does an article in the Mirror and Alaska Highway News called The Green-Eyed Girl. Plus, she's on CBC. She's everywhere.
I try to be.
She's
yes.
everywhere.
Except on Tuesdays. We don't want to
Except-
do stuff on Tuesdays.
Okay. Did you actually go nude all day on Tuesday?
Well, that's just, you'd have to read the book to find out.
Oh. Well, let's go back to when you started writing. When did you start writing?
I have written for years and years and years. I think it was just something I enjoyed. So I would, pen poems, or I would write in a journal, that kind of thing. And then I would share it with my parents, and they would laugh, and people would give me that feedback that I needed. But I didn't really start writing and submitting them anywhere until early on in my marriage. I started writing, and I wrote primarily about two characters called Eddie and Clarence, which were modeled after my father and my husband, about their escapades as they were hunting. So I started writing and submitting it to like Outdoor Life and places like that. So yeah.
And you grew up in?
I was born in Fairview, and I grew up in a small town called Worsley, Alberta.
So you're a northern girl.
I am a northern girl. I am a northern farm girl.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier that you moved to Vancouver Island. What prompted that, and how did it impact your life?
Well, my father had a massive heart attack at the age of 39, and as a result of that, he had open heart surgery. I believe it was triple bypassed, and I think at that point he realized that the farm was a little bit more than he could handle. I think there was that mortality thing where it's like, maybe I'm not going to make it, maybe I'm not going to live for too many years. So we sold the farm, and he sold his business, which was water truck hauling, and sold his plane. He was a private pilot as well, and we uprooted and moved down to Vancouver Island. And let me tell you, it was a hard transition for this farm girl. I was 13 years old at the time, so it was really difficult, very difficult.
And did you miss home?
I did miss home. I'm an extrovert, if you can. It's easy to tell, and so I love people and I love new experiences, but to realize that I was a 13-year-old girl who had lived on a farm all my life. I think I mentioned earlier, haircuts were done by the neighbor, you played in fields, you snowmobiled, you did all those kinds of things, and you were very isolated and very protected. And so then moving to Vancouver Island, where they had, I know this sounds ridiculous, but all the roads were paved, and the school was huge, and I was now a very small fish in a very big pond, whereas when I was in school in Worsley, I was a much larger fish in a very small pond.
And when did you start writing? Did you start writing in Vancouver Island?
No, I didn't. I think during my time living on Vancouver Island, I really struggled to try to meet these new expectations of living where I was living. I wasn't used to a lot of the way of life there. I struggled with how to fit in, and as a result, I became very, very, very depressed. And I talk about it, I speak to it in my TED Talk, or TEDx talk that I did last year. But I actually, at the age of 14, had an unsuccessful suicide attempt. And so I think at that point it was very evident that I was struggling.
What pulled you out of this?
What pulled me out of it? Well, I don't think you're ever totally pulled out of that type of thinking. I think people who suffer from depression deal with it all throughout their lives and have to battle the ups and downs. But we did move. We moved, and we moved to Dawson Creek when I was in grade 11. And I was much closer to that bosom of reality that I was so comfortable with, and it was good for me.
Excellent. And it's kind of interesting because Just the weather in the island sometimes gets to you too.
Yeah, for my father, the weather got to him.
Yeah.
He hated the rain, missed the Peace Country sunshine. You can't ever get enough of the huge skies. And down there, it's a little different. I did love the weather. I loved everything about when I smell cedar trees, when we're going on holidays and I smell it, I feel nostalgic. But it just wasn't a good fit for me. And it wasn't a good fit for my father either, because it drove him stir crazy, and he ended up realizing he wasn't going to die, and he got a job working in the oil field.
So in Dawson Creek, you started your penmanship.
Yeah, and it was still for a time. I think I wrote, but I didn't write with purpose. I dabbled. But I didn't
like
have
humor.
I like sarcasm. I like when people don't take things too seriously, and I think I like to take dark subjects and make them humorous as well, or subjects where people are struggling with something, whether it be aging or parenting or relationships, and make them humorous. Yeah.
Do you have any characters that you bring out?
No.
Do you have lots of them?
I don't have characters now. I write from it's about me, and it's about.
So you are the character.
I am the character, and my husband Bob is also a character in it as well, as much as he may not enjoy that. He doesn't mind. But I got away from this Eddie and Clarence stuff that I was writing, and I realized that I could put my own name on things that I write. Still very hesitant about what I was sharing necessarily, not quite knowing who my audience was at that point, but still, I didn't have characters anymore. I became that character.
Excellent. So yes, humor writing, and do you do that on CBC? I haven't heard it for a while. Every 2 weeks, right?
Every 2 weeks, yeah.
And is there a set day?
Yeah, at 7:40 on Thursdays, yeah. So
in the morning.
So not tomorrow, or not, is it Thursday today?
Yeah,
so it's next week. Yeah, next week, yeah.
Okay, and so the topics you pull from Dawson Creek and yourself.
Well, what I do is I speak to relatable topics that would be relatable to people in the Peace region, or try to draw a correlation there, because we're unique, we're different, we're
What
not
makes
the
us
same.
different? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think that our work ethic makes us different.
Do you think we work harder?
I think we do. I think we do. We work differently. Let's put it that way. We work differently. I speak to the fact that my husband and my son are both in the oil field, and they're gas operators, and they are working at 35 below, and they are up and out of the house and gone, as are many individuals in this area. So I think we work really hard. We have truck drivers who are on the roads in inclement weather. We have farmers who are working so very hard and so I think we work differently, not to diminish anything else, but I do.
Something that I'm just wondering about, and I'd really like your opinion. Do you think that some of the people that are in service industries and farmers have a resentment towards pipeliners and oil and gas people because of the salary? What do you think of that?
A resentment?
Or a jealousy?
I don't know. I don't think so. When you speak to a farmer, as my father was a farmer, he said, I remember him joking, saying, "Give me $1 million. If I won the lottery, I would just farm it until it was gone." Farming is in their blood. They love it. I don't think that although you have to be able to survive at farming, I do think that there's a passion for it, and farmers are unique individuals, and they have a very different value system, and it's all about that home life.
So in the big picture of things, I'm just wondering, are you going to continue living in Dawson Creek and writing?
Yes, I think so. Like my husband, born and raised in Dawson Creek. We have a daughter in Edmonton, and our son lives in Dawson Creek as well. And my parents live there, and my siblings have all moved back there. So I'm surrounded by family and friends. And the thing about it is, at the end of the day, I know that I can come home to this very the warm, loving arms of the Peace Country. I can, and I can go away. I can go on holidays. I can go speaking engagements and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I can come home to this place that I do call home.
Excellent. Now, are you planning on a second book?
Yes, I am. And actually, it was funny because I was going to write about my experience working for an airline, because I worked for a regional airline for 8 years. And I thought, there were so many stories that I could tell. But when I took pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, it didn't come out that way. It came out with a continuation of the type of stories that I was writing in Naked Tuesday.
Yeah. So how far along are you on your second book?
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I just need to not procrastinate and just get it finished and get it into editing.
Could you tell us the name of the new book?
That's what's killing me, is that I have been struggling with a name, like with a really great name. Naked Tuesday was and is, I think, a great title for a book. But I want my next book to have that same, because it does have the same flavor. I want it to be as, as kind of perky and not naughty, because I'm not a naughty person. Sassy. I want it to be sassy.
Yeah. Who is this written for specifically? Do you have an audience that you could say, you have to read this book or you're crazy?
Well, I have found that wives have read it to their husbands on road trips and that kind of thing, and they've loved it. I think my demographic, so like I said, I'm 52 right now, but I've found that everybody from the age of 30 to 65 finds it relatable, because I don't pull any punches. I tell you exactly how it is. If I fall down, I tell you how I fell down, how it happened, how funny it was, and I try to be relatable. I'm real.
Well, it's really proud that a Dawson Creek person now has written it. What's the response from the general audience that have read it?
Really, really positive. I get tweets from people who, I remember somebody said to me, it's pee my pants funny. I don't know if I'm allowed to say pee my pants, but pee my pants funny. And it really, it's been very, I think, humbling, because you don't think when you write something that it's going to be that it's going to have that kind of response. So it's been really humbling.
Who would you compare your writing style to?
Oh, well, some of my favorite authors are people like Jen Lancaster. She wrote a book called Bitter is the New Black. The bloggess, Jenny Lawson, I think I really enjoy her writing as well. Sia Sunrise Pearson, she's a phenomenal writer, and I love the way that she tells her stories. So those are, would I compare myself to them? No, I mean they're amazing authors, but
I'm going to read this.
I do pull from I'm influenced by them greatly. Yeah.
Good. So what's going to happen today is you're going to be leaving some books at Pine Tree Books.
Yes, I
am.
am.
And we're going to be having a major book show. And I may invite you to come in and do a little reading of your favorite spot. And we'd like to highlight your new book right from the start. Maybe we can beat CBC.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Judy.
Thanks, Steve.